Hello everyone, this is the game Grounded. This is some more gameplay, and I'm starting it right off in here. I built my base right over by the shed to one side, surrounded by water, so it wouldn't be as easily attacked by insects. Right now I'm running around in the dark. Those are spider sacs, egg sacs, and yeah, this game can get fairly spooky if you're playing it at night. So I like to, whenever possible, change it over to daylight. I've got my spicy spear here. Spicy, by the way, is what you use to fight spiders. So now I'm running through here in the weeds, going from one place to the next at night. And I recommend this as a good game to play with kids. It's just, you gotta understand, it has spiders in it and they're fairly scary looking. So, if you got arachnophobia, it might be too much. There is an arachnophobia setting for people that have that problem. So, you might want to look at that. So, I think you can just turn spiders off, because they're pretty spooky and scary. And at night, they're even more so. But anyway, you're like 1 centimeter high. This mad scientist turned you, and if you play multiplayer, a whole bunch of other people. You can play up to 4 players, and so you get turned into a 1 centimeter high character, and you're running across the backyard of another scientist. It's got a lot of scientists in it. So there was a scientist that turned you 1 centimeter high, and then these other scientists want to save you, so they set you, I don't know, that looks like they could have just turned you back to the regular size, but no, they set you in this case in the backyard of this other scientist, where there are researchers that have died. Okay, look, this right here is something I did. This is a little platform that goes out over the flowers. Now you can do this too. This is cool. I'm kind of showing you stuff I did. And you can collect pollen easily this way. They'll respawn every couple of days. So let's say you want to make something that needs pollen. Oh no, not pollen, nectar. Now this is a zip line, and this is going to go to my tree base. Now those other flowers that are further on over, those have wasp on top of them. I don't want to fight wasps every time I go to collect nectar. And this zip line I made, it's made out of stems, clay, and spider fiber that's been turned into web rope. So you make zip lines out of silk rope. That's it. It's not web rope, it's silk rope. And here we are. My tree base, you're looking at it at night. I am really horrible at ziplining, so you're probably going to be better at this than me. This is a dew collector, and I can get a drink there. And these pine cone looking things, not pine cone, but acorn looking things, those are sap collectors. And I put them all around the tree so I could collect sap. And that's a smoothie mixer and some storage. So I'm kind of showing you what I've done. I'm wearing a firefly helmet made from parts of a firefly, and it lets me see at night without having to carry a torch. So that helps a lot. Now, I've already beaten this game, but only on the first playthrough. I haven't played the next playthroughs. I don't know if I will. I mean, the first playthrough was great, but the second playthrough looks a lot like the first one, but everything's more difficult. And I don't know if I really want to do this with everything being more difficult, since I always think it's too different. Anyway, look, these are different zip lines that go to different places. And so I even have pretty much a dedicated zip line right here that just goes to my main base. And here I am going over to the base that's right by the shed, which it's kind of surrounded by water, which will make it harder for bugs to get in. I don't really want bugs wandering around inside of my base. I don't even care if they're friendly bugs. I just don't want them inside there. So that's why I built my base. It's got like a big tower. I only used the first 3 floors. I was trying to build the tower up so high that it would be as tall as the top of the shed. It's like 20 something stories high. And it only goes up to the water faucet, the outside water uh, outlet of the shed on the outside. And so it's not really. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna. If it took 20 to build that high, I'd have to build another 200-300 floors to get up. And that's a 12-volt battery right there. So a lot of times I just use clay for flooring because it's just so cheap. But I walled all this off over here because I I don't want to fight the spiders. At one time I wasn't friends with the fire ants and they'd want to fight me too every time I turned around. So I had to do something to help me with that. And so I just walled a lot of things off. And as you can see, I am horrible at which direction. I'm fumble fingered. And so, and look right down there. Isn't that beautiful? That is my, I call it the labyrinth. It's all the 3 mixers for the end of the game. But what I have done is I have encased the mixers first in like an ash wall, and then the outer wall around each one is just a whole bunch of mushroom brick. And then outside of that, there are walls, and then outside of the walls, there are more walls, and some of the walls are ash walls. See those dark gray ones? Those are ash walls. And those are barriers up there, splinter barriers made out of ash cement. So there's a lot here. I mean, when I did the first playthrough at the very end, they couldn't even get through the very first walls. The AI in here will attack any wall it sees. It just doesn't try to plow through to where it can get to where you're at. So now I'm using a dandelion tuft. I have the dandelion trinket, so I don't have to carry a bunch of those around. And whenever I need to float down, I just use it like a parachute. And this is inside my base. And you can see how I've been putting storage in it. And I have a whole bunch. I have like 5 or 6 ovens and a whole bunch of spinning wheels that spin web fiber into silk rope, or they spin plant fiber into just regular rope. But you know, I also have a lot of storage, and I even tried my best to organize it. And then after a while, I lost sight of that. But I do have some of the chests labeled, most of them. But there's some that I just had a whole bunch of junk, and you only have so much storage on your character. So I started just sticking stuff in there. You can pull from all the storage chests when you're building. That's my bed. I'm going to try to sleep through the night. Now I'm going to wake up in the middle of the day, though, which is kind of unfortunate, because in this game right here, it seems like nights go on forever, but day is like really short. So I have all my armor suits, different kinds up here. That's that's a statue right there. I don't need my firefly helmet on, but you can see how far up I built. Now I'm underwater swimming. Just kind of showing. I got 3 pets. They're all ants, and there's 3 different kinds of ants. So I put them out there, and I made that ladder so they couldn't climb up it. Notice it didn't have anything that touched the ground. And now I'm going up to one of my zip lines. I have like dozens and dozens of them. And here's what the labyrinth looks like in the day. That's a lot of mushroom brick. I probably should have used a dandelion, but I didn't. This is one of the guns. I have a lot of different guns up there, and here's more barriers. See, I can fire guns at insects. I mean, I don't need to really. They can't get in here that much. But you'll find this as part of the end of the game, you have to defend 3 mixers that are up on this plateau, and so you need to build mushroom brick and some other things around them. I just went crazy, and I think it just built way too much. That's where an insect went up against that spike trap and died. Now, if you stick an insect with your spiky, rusty spear, it'll turn it into a roast instantly. It's just really cool. Now, I made this so it would be kind of confusing, and I did a really good job, and it confuses me as well. There's the ash wall on the right. Notice how it's darker than mushroom brick. And here we go. We're going to go around, look at some of the other walls. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Yep. Okay, now I like this because it's got like a stem roof on it, which is just a floor. I needed to get something to drink because I'd slept through the night. But it kind of makes this neat pattern, and that's a refrigerator. You'll get that later on in the game, and you can store food in it, and it never goes bad. Like it's roast. So yeah, what I did for the these protecting things was I did corner steps, lots of corner steps. They'll have to try to tear through those, but I can also walk up them. Lots and lots of corner steps stacked on top of each other. They have a really good defense rate, and then underneath those, toward the middle, it's ash cement walls. So if they break through all of that, they'll have to break through the other part too, and that's going to be harder for them. Now I'm trying to find my way up, but as I said, I made this rather confusing. I put lights around in it. There's a little weevil. See, if I hit him here, it'll give me a weevil roast that I can eat. I don't have to cook it because I'm using a spicy spear. So I'm just wandering around through here now. I'm going to try to find a way up. It's fairly confusing. I don't know how the bugs would do if they ever got in here. I think they would be confused. But it's kind of like having a little city. See, I want to get up on that one part up there, and there we go. Up on the power strip. See, there we are looking down at what I call the labyrinth. You could build something like that too. I don't know if you want to go that crazy as I've done. But I enjoyed building this. And then, okay, so before they can even get to that, they have to get through all these walls that are before they can get to that. Now, there's a ledge over there that some of them drop down on. I didn't build any walls on that ledge. I figured, well, they'll never try to drop down on that from that ledge over there, but sure enough, they did. So if I ever did play this again, I would definitely put some ash cement walls across the top of that, because they're going to look for the easiest way to get in. Look how the walls are. See, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's a lot of walls there before they can get through to this part. And that's on purpose, so it'll keep them busy because they're on a timer. And once that time runs out, you win, and you don't even have to fight anything. These are really little cheap spike traps right here, built out of needles that you get off this plant and some stems. And I just put them around the base of walls. I have way too many of those. Look, here's more walls with doors that go around to my tower. And then I'm going to go down here, and this, just in case they come down through here, I built lots of barriers for them to attack. So if they attack these barriers, they're going to be pretty busy, and they'll be using up time. And some of them are just grass walls. And so I made all these just to keep them from trying to just come straight down and across, because they'll attack every one of these. They're never going to get through all of them before the time runs out. So here's another big mushroom brick wall, So there's a spider back through here. And I am scared of spiders. So I have tried to wall that spider up. And I have not done a good job of it because it's still running around in there. And when they poison you, it can kill you. Now I've got a lot of smoothies, and when you make smoothies, the trick to smoothies I have found is to use mussel sprouts that you get out of the underwater base. So harvest those every few days, and you'll get more of them, and then you can use them to heal yourself instantly. It'll put your health all the way back up. I don't even think it matters which smoothie you use. I think it's easier to use. There's a wall that an enclosure I made to try to enclose a spider up. And that right there is a cinder block, a side of it to the right of me. And I didn't have a lot of materials here, and I didn't want to make more mushroom bricks, so I just even used stems and clay, and I tried to, oh, there he is, the spider. See him? Under that leaf. So I made an enclosure next to him, but I guess when he spawned back, so I'm going to go ahead and kill the spider, which is always fun. And once I get this spider killed, I kind of know where he spawned at, and hopefully I'll build this enclosure out around him where he was last at. If that's where he's spawning at, that might not even be his spawning point. But what I'm doing is I'm building where I think he's going to respawn at. So if I come back up here in a few days, I might fight him. Now, when I say this game is not for little kids, that's probably it right there. Spiders are scary, and the graphics in this are really good, and so it could scare a little kid. So I'm going to build out around that spider where he was at, because he might respawn back there. So what I'm doing now, and it may look a little boring, but I'm showing you some building. I'm recycling mushroom brick. See? And it's kind of like playing Jenga, because if you get the right one, a whole bunch of them will fall down. So that's what you want to do, is just keep recycling mushroom brick. If you get the right one, they'll all fall down, like I said in past videos, and in this one too. So just keep plugging away at it. Eventually you'll get the one that's supporting all of them. But I don't want them to go to waste, and I don't want to make new mushroom bricks. I'd have to go down to the ovens. Well, first I'd have to use this thing that smashes them up, and then makes it into a paste. Then I can put them in there. I forgot the name of it. So I'm just trying to recycle these. Now, you might see markers on the map, and some people don't like to do markers to mark where they're at, but I'm a big believer in marking where your different locations are, because I have so many, you can get lost easily. If you look at this, now that ought to fall. One more. Oh, there they all go. See? I should have got that one first. Collect all these and build on around it. Hopefully I'll have enough. If not, there's some clay here. There's a lot of stems I can cut down. I go to craft. Then I go to craft mushroom bricks, walls. I start laying down templates. Now, I don't know if this will catch the spider and lock him in there. I do have some that have locked some spiders in since the first of the game nearly, that are under the acorn tree, under the oak tree. And so They've been doing their job imprisoning spiders all this time. So I got to make sure it goes up under that leaf. Got to get it right just the right angle. There you go. So I think that this should do it. Maybe if it don't, I'll build more around it. I'll build it out more. I don't want to make more mushroom brick though because I have so much in other places that after I finish the mixers, they're just still sitting there. And so I'm going to go recycle those as well since I'm not going to go back to that spot. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. See, now a spider can jump. A spider can jump 3 stories high. So, realizing this, you got to make it high enough to where the spider can't just jump out. Now I'm cutting down some. I'm looking for a dandelion. Right there's one. I'm going to cut it down. Now I'm using a sour axe, and it is the best weapon, I think. One of the best weapons in the game because it kills black widows. It's really good. And it'll kill other insects really good too because it hits really hard and you can swing it several times before you're out of stamina. So, and right now I have the mutation on where it lets me carry a whole bunch of stems. So I'm going to do some building here. And I think it's good that you get to see this so you can see some of the things you can do in the game. I mean, not just fight bugs, but also just build. And I'm going to jump up and at the same time, bing, there you go. Jump up and put them right on there. I'm pretty sure I get on that mushroom to do it, but you know. Okay, I got 3. It takes 3 stems to do one of these. Now, will the spider break out if it really, really, really wants to? Yeah, but first off, it's going to want to jump up there. You know, and it's going to lean against that mushroom brick that I've got right there, which is pretty stout. It's not as good as ash cement, but mushroom brick is not bad. So I've got to build up even more walls. I'm kind of OCD on building walls. I like to build walls really tall and make sure. And then I'm going to try to put an enclosure on top of this so if it was to try to jump up on a leaf, it couldn't get out. I don't want the spider out. Unless I want the spider out, I really don't want it sneaking up behind me. They have a bad habit. Like, one time I was building, earlier in the game when I was building the walls across the part that leads up to this, the spider was on the other side of the wall just following me and eventually came around the side of the wall and man, that was kind of spooky. So I think you kind of don't want to have that happen on a regular basis. So whenever I can wall spiders up, that's my best plan. Wall them up. Now, I'm at the level where I can actually chop down hefty husky weeds. Yeah, that's it, husky weeds. And dandelions, and I'll just get all these and just build around up and through there. And see that red stuff in the water? That's clay. I can dig it out too. I mean, this is really a fun game. It's even more fun if you're playing it with other people, and you can, and it's multiplayer and cross-platform. So yeah, you can play it with people on different types of consoles and on the computer. And there's no cussing in the game. I mean, you're a little kid. Now, here's something that is kind of spooky. From time to time, you'll find dead bodies. They're just skeletons of researchers that have been put in the backyard that died. And they'll have notes and trinkets and badges that they have used. Of course, it didn't save them, but it can help you. Like there's a toxicology badge that I wear whenever I fight spiders that I got off of the body of one of the researchers. And it kind of helps with the poison. Because when you first start this game, you're just really kind of vulnerable to every bug out there, and you don't really have any real good weapons or armor. And I'm wearing Broodmother armor, by the way, which I got from killing the Broodmother several times over. Let me give you advice. After you get the second ant base killed, the Broodmother, go try it. Go try to wipe her out, and you'll get parts. And then if you can do it again and again, you'll get more. You'll get enough to make armor, and then upgrade that armor because this is really good armor. And what it makes it so good is it poisons the other attacker, the attacker who is attacking you, and hurts them quite a bit. In fact, they attack you and they die. This works really good on ladybird larvae and many other insects because when they attack you, it poisons them. It's also just real tough. Now, the downside is it's tanky armor, it's heavy. But you're in a world of insects that want to kill you. So I don't see how this is a bad thing. Now I'm digging out some clay. I want to kind of put a roof on this thing. Now I'll build this whole thing, but the problem is it might not work because it might spawn outside of it. My hopes are that it spawns inside of this enclosure. Then if I want to attack it, I can. Now when I found it up here, they sleep during the day and they're awake at night, and this is for wolf spiders. Orb weavers are asleep at night and are awake during the day. Wolf spiders are asleep in the day and awake at night. So you've got spiders to deal with any time of the day or night. Orb weavers are not as bad as wolf spiders. Black widows, there's not that many in the game, and they are the most poisonous insect and bug dangerous in the game, except for the boss bugs. And they're all over the game in different places. The one I would first try to attempt to beat if I were you is, of course, the Broodmother. She's over by the Hedge Lab. But anyway, I'm just showing you some more parts I built. I've kind of been insane on building. This is by the cinder blocks. Look at that nice grass wall there. Totally weak wall, but I think it looks good. And I've opened up some of these underground places. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm not really spoiling anything for you in the game because I'm not opening that up. It's up here near the 3 mixers at the very end of the game, but all I did was show you a strategy on how you could defend those mixers. It's night again, and you can barely see anything. Maybe I can sleep some and it'll be daylight. I'm heading back to the house. Yeah, that was an aphid. Those little green bugs, they're friendly. There are friendly bugs in the game. Weevils, aphids, and once you become friends with the ants, this is a little crazy. The amount of walls with acorn doors I put through here. But then it'll be crazy for the bugs too. They're not going to be able to get through here easily. I think there's 8 doors there. 8 walls with doors in them. Mushroom brick. Yeah, I don't think they could get through them all. Before that, they'd have to go through all that other stuff too. So I've pretty much made it rough for them. And then now I'm up in my tower, and I'm going to sleep some. It tells me I can't go to sleep yet because it's too early. And that's kind of sad. So I'm just going to have to run around some more. I put a lot of different furniture in here. So I'm not really big on the whole furniture thing. I did make this place cozy though. I sometimes just like to stand out here on the back porch. What can we do while it's still dark? I don't know. How about go under the shed? Well, one of the reasons I like this place so much is because it has mushrooms, little mushrooms, and you can eat little mushrooms. And you don't have to hunt. So let's say you get to where you level up your ability to stack consumables. You can have like 30 something mushrooms, and you'll eat like 10 for a meal and 10 for another, and that'll give you enough food. So you have three different meals in one slot, where you can't do that with a roast. That takes up a whole slot. Now jerky, you could stack jerky, but it doesn't fill you up as much. And I know mushrooms are not that tasty because he complains about it, but they'll fill you up. So you eat 10 mushrooms, take you a canteen filled up. I'm harvesting some more clay. That's my hot tub right there. There's a lot of nice stuff I built for my tower. I think I'm wanting to go back up and put some more clay around the top of that. And I know there's clay down here, so I'm going to put some more clay, if I don't forget, on top of that enclosure that I built around the spider. That's the good thing about bugs. They can't swim. So if you build out in the middle of the water, they can't get to you. Now if you build in an area where there's a lot of mosquitoes out in the water, it's not going to make any difference, because the mosquitoes will attack you. There's no mosquitoes over here. I mean, yeah, if I made the mosquitoes mad, they'd come over here and attack my tower, but look, if I get like a raid warning, I'll close out the game. I close out the game, and then when I reopen the game, I run away from my base, and then still yet I can't sleep. And then I will go to a base that I don't care as much about. Don't stay in the base you care about a lot, because if you do, then it's going to be attacked. Now this is under the shed. Now I'm not ruining a whole lot here for you. This you get later in the game, but I want to show you these resources in here. There's some things in here too that you can get, but I'm not going to tell you. They're good to get. Now this is just the creepiest place, and it has two black ox beetles. It has a bunch of termites, and over toward one side it has a big drop off, like a ridge that goes down into a valley, and there's like 8 or 9, and I shouldn't have jumped like that. I hurt myself. And in the valley there, in this little area, there's like 8 or 9 orb weavers in there, and you have to fight them all. Now that's kind of scary, but that is a roly-poly, and they're completely harmless unless you attack them. Then they're a nightmare. So I made some roly-poly armor, but I made it by having some ash walls between me and the roly-poly, so I could fight the roly-poly without worrying about it fighting me. I just run out and shoot it, and then run back behind the ash wall enclosure. I built like a fort, a little fort, just to fight a roly-poly. Now up here, I'm going to try to go across this conduit and then jump into a pipe, because one of the things you're going to need, so I'm going to tell you ahead of time, you need to know this anyway early on, is if you find a shimmering beetle, it shimmers and shines, you need to kill them, save them, because they are what you need to upgrade your weapons to the max, whatever it is you're wanting to make. Now this also has lint up here, and you can harvest it, but you need a good axe to do it, I think. Yeah, you do. So now I'm running across the top of this. You want to make sure you don't fall off, because right underneath, right in there, is the drop off that goes down into this ravine where there's a bunch of orb weavers. And now I have to do a thing here where I have to jump off and use my dandelion, and I am terrible at this. Watch this. I'm going to miss it. Jump. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. Oh, gosh, I'm horrible. Just land on the pipe underneath of it and run back. I wanted to land on that other pipe. And this could happen to you too. You might not make it to that other pipe. So what I need to do is put on Natural Explorer, I think, and be able to run faster. So I can run across through here. Now I have not all my I haven't found all the milk mowers yet. I probably need to watch a video and look for where they're at. Now there's some dust mites up here and they'll attack you. Just ignore them. Unless you really need to kill some dust mites. For dust mite fuzz. So right there is the conduit again, and I'm going to run over to this side so I can go down closer. You see those splinters there? You can make, that's part of what you make splinter traps with. And then I should have used the dandelion, but I didn't. And then I'm going to jump up on this and go back around. I'm going to look for that board. So, I'm showing you a thing you might have to do. So it's good that you're watching me mess up. Here, let's jump up on this brace right here and then up on the conduit. And we're going to go back around. Okay, we're going back around. Let's keep going. So, my purpose is to kill these shiny beetles, these shimmering shiny beetles. They have shiny shimmering shells. Now watch, I'm going to try to do this right. And do it. And I landed on it. There you go. See, now they're really fast and they'll run away from you, but they got nowhere to run in this pipe. Are you getting the idea now? So you want to just drop. Don't try to jump. Just drop on this quarter. Now that kind of tells you how itty bitty tiny you are. You are tiny. So you run in this pipe and you'll find right off the bat a dust mite because they hate you. And after that you'll start seeing these twinkling shell bugs. That's what I think they're called. They're beetles with shiny shells. Now you don't want to go too far down in there. You'll fall through the pipe into the water, and then it's a real pain to get out. You have to do a lot of parkour. Alright, there's the beetles. They ain't got nowhere to go. Oh, by the way, put on there, on your mutations, if you have it, and you got the sticky gum trinket, and the mutation where you can grab. See, look, put that on there. And then the dissection one, if you've gotten that far. Everything so you can get as many shells as you can. But these guys are going to spawn every 3 days anyway. So you'll get a bunch of shells, and you use these to upgrade your weapons to the final form, whatever they are. Whether it be a mighty jewel, or a spicy jewel, or a sour jewel, you're going to need twinkling shells for this. I think we got most all of them. Now this little guy, he's trying to be scary. He wants to get me. Now once in a while, a mosquito get in here. Just back up. Don't go down there toward the mosquito, but fight the mosquito from up in the pipe. Okay? Don't go down in the pipe to fight the mosquito. Now if you don't have any room now, just, and I should have emptied out my inventory more before I came down here. But, you know, I don't do everything the right way. Maybe you'll do better. So now I'm going to run back up the pipe, which can't remember which end is which. But I'm going to tell you, it's dark inside this place under the shed. There's no day. It's going to be dark night and day. So my point right now is I got my twinkling shells. I'm going to go back out. I do not want to stay underneath here. I've got what I came for, so I make sure I have my dandelion on, and I'm going to use it to jump and float down to the pipe. I don't want to float down in the pipe. I want to float down on top of it. Now I'm going to run back to where I came from. Now if you look over to the right, you might see some black ox beetles. Now the other day I looked down in here and I saw a wolf spider in this area, which is rare. I don't really want to fight wolf spiders if I don't have to. See the black ox beetles? There's one right there. Now, they're good. They're good to have, the shells of black ox beetles. So if I decide I'm going to go down here and fight one, it's just the thing I want to do. But I will use fresh for them, or salty. My favorite thing to do is the fresh minty club for them. There's a termite soldier. There it is. Mint club. It's all the way maxed out. I'm going to go down here and bash some termites. And there's a black ox beetle. And he will, and I'm doing it first person. I need to switch over to the third just for you, so it doesn't make you as a car sick. But when you play this game, for me, I like to play it first person. And it's kind of terrifying. You get to be in the game like this first person. So I killed both those black ox beetles. I probably didn't get as much as I would get out of them because I think I forgot to take off. I may still have it on though. The mutation for getting extra loot out of them, parts. You jump down in there though, you need to be prepared. You're going to be fighting termites and black ox beetles and maybe even a wolf spider. Watch not to get too close to that ledge. There we go, I'm third person. I think that looks even cooler. Termite. Now, this game's got music to it and a lot of sound, but you know, I don't have that up on this playthrough because I think, you know, when you make a playthrough, it's good to change the content. So I think that's the ravine right there. I'm looking over the ledge. Now in the side of that right there, if you jump down in there, there's a whole bunch of spiders. And I really just don't want to fight them right now. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to get back up. I'd have to go across a big place down there where there's water and roots, and you have to do a bunch of parkour. I just came down here to get some shimmering beetle shells. Twinkling shells, I think it's called. So now I'm just going to try to get out of here. That's what I recommend you do. You could raid this every few days. It's a good spot to raid. Don't throw away any twinkling shells. I'm headed for the door. I think this game's even more fun with multiplayers. But it's pretty challenging single player. So just head out and you're going to find that hopefully it's daylight now. No, is it? It's still night. It's like, why? But get used to fighting around in the night a lot because the days seem to be very short compared to the nights. It's finally going to let me sleep, but it's going to wake me up in the middle of the day, which is still going to make this day short too. See, there's the oak tree right there in the middle. I showed you some of that base, but it was at night. I need to drop off some of this stuff, so I hope I'm giving you some ideas here on what to do. You go over to these chests, and these are the cheapest ones to make. They they don't take a whole lot. Some clover leaves and a bit of acorn, and you're good. That's an oven. You're storing stuff. Because if I'm going to go out someplace else, I want to make sure I got all this stuff stored. 'Cause you only have so much room in your inventory on your character. So it's kind of sad. Your character doesn't have more inventory. But that's why you build a lot of storage containers, and then you store all that. But you have your workbench near. You want to put your workbench near all your storage containers, so that when you make stuff, it can pull from them. You don't actually have to take the stuff back out of the storage containers to create weapons or whatever furniture, because it'll pull from those storage containers if they're close enough. Also, I like this spot because it has toadstools, and toadstools, lots of them, and so you can get all your mushroom brick that you need. These are the ones with the reddish tops to them and the white spots. And toadstools are what make mushroom brick. The other mushrooms don't make mushroom brick, and toadstools make 10 mushroom brick for each toadstool block that you cut down, and a regular mushroom just makes one. So you see why I like toadstool mushrooms. And these are my walls that go back toward the other spider. Now, I don't know if any of you want to build anything this crazy. I'm going up here to check on that spider, but I think he's not going to respawn for a few more days. And that's kind of a good thing. I've got all that clay. I need to build the top on that enclosure some more. Look, there's a husky weed. You'll start seeing them easier after you build a bit. Now you can make a stem floor, and that can work like a roof. But I just use clay. Cut down a lot of clay, and mushroom brick. You can just top the whole thing off with stairs. Put the stairs together. But if you use like a stem floor as a roof, you have to have rope. Not silk rope, but grass rope. So let's look down in there and see if Mr. Spider has respawned. I do not think so. I don't want it to respawn and then get out. So let's put some clay foundations down, and they'll work as a roof. It's not probably the best, but normally I would like to do clay stairs and put all the stairs together as a roof, which is what you see over in the labyrinth area. It's harder for him to break through that. I don't think this guy's going to break through this stuff. I'll be lucky if it just spawns in this area. There's a good chance it won't respawn in this area. It'll respawn somewhere else. Do I have enough brick to do this? Oh, I'm running out. Not brick, but clay. I've run out of clay. I need some clay. What am I going to do? It's looking pretty good. I didn't get any of it. Didn't get all of it covered either. So I have options. I'm going to look around, I guess, for some more clay. I think there's some over here. Could steal some off this building. You know, right when you're wanting to finish something out, you run out of supplies. I hope you're enjoying my videos so far. Please subscribe. I'll try to make some more of them. This one's rather long, but I think people wouldn't mind having it. This might be good to help you to learn to play grounded some, see what somebody else has done. Or else you could put it on in the background and fall asleep to it. So, either way, it's a good video for one or the other purposes. Here we go. I think I've run out of clay. That's a clay block. Is there any more? Now the problem I have is I am sometimes kind of forgetful as to what I was just working on, and then I'll just go off and do something else and forget that I need to finish a thing I was doing. So that's very possible. I'm thinking I might show you something else. Now, this place where I'm at right now, there are human food items that appear, and so every few days you can harvest them. And since I've got it walled off, the fish can't get to it. We're going over to the tree. So I'll show you what the tree looks like in the daytime. That'll be kind of cool. I love this game. It's pretty neat. I'm like so tiny. I have zip lines going just about everywhere. Now, if I had my underwater gear, I would just drop right here, and there's like a dome down there, and next to it is a place to get into it, and that's where the mussel sprouts are. And you see those little buildings down there around the tree trunk? Those are spider enclosures. Spiders can't get out of them. I built them around the spiders. So the spiders, when they spawned back in, would be trapped in there. Those are drying racks. This goes all the way around the tree. Now, I also did some other crazy stuff. I built like walls around the top of each one of these stumps down here. So it's pretty crazy. That way I could go all the way down through here without the spiders seeing me. These are my steps. They're triple wide or double wide. I think they're either that or triple. Now here's my little walkways. I can go out this door here, and there's a science lab right down there. See it? So if I need to analyze something, I can. But I'm going to come back up in here and run down the wall. Close that door, because I have found orb weavers will get in here, the little ones, if I don't close that door. You can see the grass moving around on the outside. And that's most likely an orb weaver. See it moving around. There you go. You can see it. There's an orb weaver. Yellow and black. Yellow and brown. So I'm continuing on through here. This took a while to build, by the way. And right there is a stone, and it usually has some bums of ear beetles under it. They're good for parts if you need to build an oven or stove. And this goes right out to the marker at the pond. And then I walled off the orb weavers down here so they couldn't get out in on this part. They still sometimes end up inside of this, between these two walls over here. But you know, I'll just kill them. Now I'm coming up to my tin can base that I sometimes go to because there's nothing really in it. And what are they going to tear down but some walls around the outside? But I put a bed in it, and a drying rack, and a chair so I can just sit here and wait out the attack or go out and attack them. It has a Duke collector. I did have a pet over here at one time, and I took my pet with me. I think I need to tell you this. Be careful about taking your pets with you because they can get killed. And this is a zip line I built. That's going to go over to my old zip line connecting place, which is right above the red anthill. I gotta clear my throat. Okay, so anyway, I can just run over there. I just run over there. Because I built walls. Now I'm coming up on the red anthill. In the red anthill, you want to make friends. See all the markers? The red anthill is a place that you really want to make friends with the ants. So you want to get red ant armor to wear, and then you are instantly their friends. And so I built my very first base that is of any consequence over here. Because if anything comes over here that's not them, they will attack it. So you're kind of protected if you build. So when you're like low level, I encourage you to build around the red ant base. I put some storage up here. I don't use it anymore. I don't even use this base anymore. There's a workbench and a chair. But, you know, I'm just showing you this because this is a great place to build your first base. Because you can hunt insects with the red ants helping you to kill them. And then I just built some wacky stairs that go up to landings that look like they're supported by nothing. And pretty much they are. And they go off in different directions. Now I've taken some of the silk rope off some of the zip lines. Because I don't never use the red ant base much. In fact, I don't even go over here when I'm getting raided, because if you kill enough of any one insect, they'll raid you. So you don't want to be in your mushroom base. But the tin can base isn't that bad. I thought about building a base right out in the middle of the water to where they couldn't get to me. And I might do that, but, I mean, doesn't matter. You could do that. Build you one out in the pond that only you could get to via a zip line. And then the insects, except for the flying insects, wouldn't be able to get to you. But how long would they stand out there and try to get to you before they couldn't? I do have a wall base that goes over to the wall near where the charcoal pit is at. And the only way up to it is via some stairs. And I put spikes, traps around the bottom of the stairs. So when they're trying to attack it, they get hurt by the spike traps. Anyway, that's grounded. I hope you've enjoyed it, this playthrough.